Hey everyone, Mary here, your holistic recovery coach. As always, sharing information and resources to help you in your recovery, healing, and personal growth. Those of you who know me, most of my content is often geared towards people in the various addiction recovery communities. However, at this time in the world, I want to make sure that I'm putting out some helpful information and support to everyone. I do work one-on-one with people, not just in the addiction recovery communities and as a recovery coach, but also just as a holistic coach, and often working with people who struggle with anxiety, which those who have anxiety, it's certainly most likely super triggered right now with what's going on with the epidemic and being stuck inside, and especially at least here where I am in my New England area, we are ordered to stay in now. So with that in mind, I am feeling called to record some videos to try to help more people, because I'm getting a little inundated by friends and clients and all sorts of associates who are reaching out for some support right now. There's a lot of fear that's coming up for people, and this is an opportunity for us to acknowledge it and consciously release it and shift it to get back in our power. The tool that I want to introduce to anyone who doesn't already know it is one of my absolute favorite holistic therapeutic tools that I know of. You don't need anything other than yourself to do this. Once you understand this technique on a basic level, it's called Emotional Freedom Technique. If you subscribe to my channel, I've done a couple videos about it before, I believe. But what I want to begin to do is introduce it to everyone, and then I'm going to be asking for your feedback. Maybe we'll do some YouTube live sessions, or certainly please comment on this video and let me know what specific fears or what specific issues are coming up for you or for people that you know right now, so that we can address them, so that I can help address them more specifically. With EFT, it's a powerful technique that will help calm down your nervous system, help you get back into a more calm, grounded place where you can access your own intuition, think more clearly, feel more positive and confident about whatever your situation is. But it's the most effective is when we can be really specific. So when I do one-on-one sessions with people, obviously it's really catered to, customized and catered to your individual needs, to the individual needs of the client or person that I'm working with. But doing these videos, I want to help as many people as possible. And I have a feeling that there are a lot of general fears out there that a lot of people collectively are feeling. And I plan to do a series of videos to address the ones that seem to be coming up for people, so that we can hopefully help as many people as possible. So feel free, please, I encourage you to put a comment below this video, and with suggestions of, hey, what fears or issues are coming up for people right now that you think people could use some help with. And I will start creating videos accordingly. In the meantime, if you are new to this technique, let me give you a quick overview and prepare you for the future videos, and a little general session, just a quick one to help you get an idea of what this can do for you. Okay, so emotional freedom technique. I won't go into a whole lecture about it, but I will put some links in the description of this video where you can access more information and the research. There's a vast body of research on emotional freedom techniques, which have to do with combining really the science behind, between modern psychology and ancient Chinese healing, the scientifically now validated techniques like acupuncture that are based on the meridian system. So there's energy that runs through the body, and there's specific points that help us access that system. And it's involved in all sorts of physical, emotional, and perhaps spiritual functions of our body and our well-being. So like with acupuncture, where the practitioner accesses and stimulates specific points on the body, we can do this like acupressure, just gently applying pressure, or in EFT is also referred to as tapping, gently tapping to stimulate these specific energy points in the body that correspond with different functions. And we don't need to get into all that right now. I won't. Just let you know that the research has been done that when we combine this this technique, it's a mind-body technique where we're thinking about or bring our attention to a certain issue using certain phrases and words that I will guide you, and you'll just kind of mimic what I do on your own. And then we gently tap on our own bodies. I'll show you where. That when we do this, it seems to affect the limbic system, the emotional part of the brain, the nervous system that responds to fight and flight, or creates fight and flight based on our perception of the world around us. And as you probably know, perhaps our nervous system responds to any potential threats, any perceived threats, real or or pretend or imagined. So we could be sitting in our house and be technically safe in this moment, but if you're thinking about all the potentially terrible or scary things that might happen or are happening in the world, but not to you, your whole nervous system could be responding as if it is happening to you. And that is not healthy for us. You'd be, dumping out cortisol and other stress hormones that aren't good for us in excess, and having a whole host of physiological responses in our body that it is actually going to weaken our immune system. And I'd imagine that perhaps one of your fears is about getting sick or needing medical care during this epidemic and not being able to get what you need. So that one of the things that we can empower ourselves with is to be as healthy as possible. And from my experience over the many years working in the holistic health field and with lots of different types of medical and holistic health practitioners, I can with confidence say that our emotional well-being is a key, I can't emphasize it enough, it's a crucial component to our physical well-being and our immune health. So with that being said, let me show you just the basics of this technique. Again, I'll link to other videos where I probably talk more about the history of it. And if you have specific questions about it, comment below too, and I'll address those in another video. So here's how EFT works in a nutshell. Here's what I want you to do. Just tune into your body right now. Maybe take a deep breath. And just think about what's going on for you right now. Some of the fears that have come up. What, if anything, is keeping you up at night right now? What is it when you get quiet and stop distracting yourself comes up right into the kind of forefront of your mind as, oh, what if that happens? Or how am I going to deal with this? Or I'm worried about such and such or so and so. Okay. Get in touch with that right now. Now, if you were to rate the intensity, okay, we use a measurement just to have a subjective kind of baseline of how you're doing. If you're to rate the intensity of this level of anxiety or stress, the level of disturbance that you feel right now when you think about your present situation and what you're perhaps freaked out about, okay? 10 being as freaked out as you can be or as intense as that level of anxiety can be, 0 being none at all. Okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, how intense is your stress level right now when you tune into it? Just give it a number, kind of just what comes up immediately. All right, let's say maybe it's a 7 out of 10. Okay, if you have a pen and paper, jot your number down. If not, just mentally remember it, what you started out with, okay? Also now, tune into your physical body. Just do a little mental body scan, kind of head to toe, noticing what you feel physically as you're thinking about the stuff that's stressing you out. You might notice maybe some tension in your chest. Maybe you get a little lump in your throat. Maybe you have a mild headache. Maybe you have some tension in your shoulders or your back. Maybe your stomach feels a little queasy. Anything physical, just make a note of that. Just notice it. And again, just kind of tune into the intensity of that. Okay, so now that you kind of have that, we have that stressor sort of up on our computer screen, if you will. Let's address it. Let's now give our nervous system some signals that helps bring that stress level down. Okay, let's soothe our nervous system, because when we're thinking about that stressful thing, chances are our brain, our nervous system's doing its thing in response to it, even though hopefully you're just sitting in your house right now, your apartment, and technically safe in the moment. So the next thing we do with EFT is, now that we know what we're going to tune into, and again, I'm keeping it pretty general right now. So let's just call it this stress or this anxiety or this thing that's stressing you out right now, the thing that you're worried about. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to say a certain phrase, and we call this the setup statement. When we first start, we're going to state what the issue is and balance it with something more positive. You'll often hear in EFT, the most ideal statement that you'll say is, you'll do the, even though I have this anxiety. Okay, that's how we start out the setup statement. Even though I have whatever, okay, whatever your issue is. Even though I have this anxiety, and we balance it out with the other part of the statement, which is, in an ideal world, it's I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay, we're balancing it with something positive and self-acceptance. There's reasons behind why we do that. I won't get into it now. Just trust me, this works. It works well. It's there for a reason. So, but you can if you're not comfortable saying that, you can do something a lot more, something a little more gentle, like even though I have this anxiety, that's okay. That's just where I'm at right now. Okay, something a little more balanced. Even though I have this anxiety, I'd like to feel better. Right? Step in the right direction. So we'll do the setup statement or some form of it 3 times while you're tapping. If you've noticed, I'm tapping on the side of my hand, right about here, a little bit up, okay, on the pinky side, but on the kind of the meat of your hand here, okay? And you gently tap, usually use 2 fingers, not tapping too hard like you're ticked off about something. Don't beat yourself up, just nice and gentle, just enough to stimulate that meridian point. Okay, I'm gonna show you where the points are now. So we'll tap on this, repeating the setup statement 3 times, okay? And then we'll go to the rest of the points that I'll show you. And when you go to the other points, you don't have to say that whole phrase, that whole statement anymore. You're just going to acknowledge the issue because you're tuning into that. And as you're tapping all the points, it's helping to soothe your nervous system while you're kind of bringing that issue up to the forefront. All right, so let's just tune into that feeling again for you. If you had a feeling in your body, just notice it. Tightness in the chest, nervous stomach, tension somewhere, whatever it may be. And if you don't have anything physical, that's okay. Just tune into this stress that you have right now. And repeat after me. Now, you might be listening with headphones. There might be other people around. You might think this is weird. So it's ideal you say it aloud, but if you don't, you can just think it along with me, okay? Even though I have this anxiety right now, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I'm feeling stress, that's okay. It's understandable. Even though there's a lot going on right now and it's stressing me out, I'd like to feel better. Maybe I can feel a little better. Okay, now we're going to go to each point and tap along with me, and we'll just tune into that stress at each point, okay? The first point is going to be right at the top of your head. If you were to go halfway this way, halfway across this plane, right in the top of your head, just gently tap, okay? And you might see people do this in a different order. It doesn't necessarily matter. Just stay with me, okay, if you find other YouTube videos. Okay, so now this stress. Just tune into that stress you're feeling, okay? Now come along the eyebrow towards the center right here, okay? And by the way, you can do either side. Some people used to use both hands. One hand gets tired, you can use the other. Both sides of the body have these meridians that run through them, so you can do the left or the right side, okay? This stress I'm feeling. Now come along here to the side of the eye. This stress I'm feeling. Then you come under the eye here. This stress I'm feeling. You come under the nose. By the way, I forgot to say, you might want to wash your hands before you do this and after you do this during this epidemic. Under the nose, this stress I'm feeling. Then on your chin, this stress I'm feeling. Okay. Now come down to along the clavicle, your collarbone on either side towards the center, right around here, okay, on either side or both. This stress I'm feeling. And just notice how you're feeling in your body as you're doing this. Tune into that physical area of the body if you had some sensation there when we first tuned into it. Then you're gonna come to your side, maybe about a fist length below your underarm, okay? The stress I'm feeling. I like to add in this point. It's a liver point. All of these points connect to different points along the organ systems in Chinese medicine. So this isn't technically on your liver, but I'm going to do it on the other side. If you go straight down through the center of your breast, below that, like on your rib cage. This stress I'm feeling. Then we've got more points along the hand. These come in handy too, no pun intended, but there it is. Also, if you want to do this, you could even be on a Zoom conference for work and you start feeling stressed, and you could do this under the table or out of the line of vision of the camera, and no one will even know you're doing it. Okay, I like the hand point. So now you're going to come here on the side of your thumb. Okay, so if we do this again, instead of tapping where we started here, you're going on the inside. Okay, so towards the top and on the inside of your thumb as it's facing you. Okay, this stress I'm feeling. Now, same thing with your index finger, towards the top, on the side. This stress I'm feeling. Same thing, middle finger, on the inside. This stress I'm feeling. Skip the ring fingers, not a point on that side, and then the pinky, same thing, on the inside of your pinky. This stress I'm feeling. Okay, one more point. I want you to come to on the back of your hand, between your pinky and ring finger, just where that groove is, right in here, okay? You can tap, or even also, if it's more soothing to you, just gently rub on this point right here. The stress I'm feeling. All right, now take a deep breath, or two. Now I want you to tune back into that original thought and feeling you had about being stressed, the anxiety that you're feeling right now, whatever's stressing you out. Tune back into that area of the body where you may have had a physical sensation. Just notice, what's it like now? Okay, think about that first number that you had, that rating, where you gave it a number on a scale of 0 to 10. I'd said maybe if mine was a 7, what's it like now? So if yours started out as a 7, hopefully it just came down a little bit. But if for any reason it went up, that's actually pretty normal. Don't be concerned. Doesn't mean it's not working. It actually means that you really do need this. What that probably means is that perhaps your stress was actually a little more intense than you even realized. And when you tuned into it and started this process, you just really tune more into it, and it's a little bit more intense than perhaps you thought. And you're on the right track. So you've really brought it up to the forefront in an authentic way. And now let's do some more tapping, and that'll help bring it down if it did come up for you. For the rest of you, it might be the same or lower. So generally speaking, like when I do this with groups, usually the vast majority, after even just one round of general tapping like that, feel a little bit of a lessening of that subjective rating of whatever feeling that they're having. So based on that, I want to do just one more round so you get the hang of this, and we'll move ahead to more specific videos after this. Okay, so let's come back to the beginning, okay, and repeat after me. Even though I still feel some stress, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm still feeling some of that stress, it might be lessening. It's coming down. Even though I have all this stress about things I've been feeling powerless over, maybe I have the power to soothe my nervous system. And I do have the power to improve my immune system and health and well-being. And I feel good about that today. Now come back to the points. We're going to go around and just acknowledge this remaining stress. Top of the head. Then inside the eyebrow here. The stress that I still feel. The stress that I still feel at whatever level. I forgot to ask you, rate it again. All right. Now let's say it's a 4. The stress that I'm feeling, it's a 4 out of 10, or whatever your number is. Just notice how you're feeling physically, under the eye. The stress I'm feeling. Under the nose. This remaining stress. On the chin. This remaining stress. Come down to the collarbone again, either side or both. The stress I'm feeling. Come to your side again. The stress I'm feeling. Let's go to that liver point again. The stress I'm still feeling. Okay, come to the thumb. The stress I'm feeling. Index finger. The stress I'm feeling. Again, remember we're on towards the top of it on the side. Middle finger. This stress I'm still feeling. Pinky, same thing. This remaining stress. Okay, let's come to the top of the hand. This remaining stress. Let's take a deep breath. And just take a moment to notice. How are you feeling now? Do another quick body scan, head to toe. If there was a place where you were originally feeling discomfort or tension in your body physically, notice what it's like now. What changed? Do you have a different sensation? Has it moved somewhere else in the body? Sometimes as we do this, you might start off with tightness in your chest, and you're like, well, I don't feel that so much, but there's a little lump in my throat. What you do with that is you can continue to do some of these rounds on your own and just focus on the next thing that comes up. The ideal scenario or outcome is tapping through whatever different aspects of this come up as they come up and bringing that original number, that original stress level down as low as possible. Obviously, we'd like to clear it down to a 0, but sometimes you'll do a few rounds and you might get it down to 1 or 2 even, and let it be, and it might continue to dissipate on its own. You might only get it down to a 4 or 5 on your own. What I just showed you is real general. Again, the more specific that we can be, the more effective this technique is. When you work one-on-one with a practitioner, there's a lot more tools and techniques, and there's an art and science to this to help people really shift some more core beliefs and issues that come up around whatever's disturbing you. So again, I'm just putting this out there to generally help some people right now with all the different anxieties that are coming up, and help people really shift, because again, like I mentioned during one of those rounds, people are feeling really powerless or helpless in different manners right now, and let's try to shift that. And I want to help you shift back into your personal power, the things that we do have control over. And one of those things are our own health and well-being and our own self-care. So I applaud you for showing up to tune into this video. And I really hope that you will comment below and give me suggestions for what specific fears and issues to cover in future ones, future videos. And I'll put out as many as I can in response to people's requests, so that we can all help each other feel better and be healthier, and keep ourselves in balance so that we can be of service to others, which is also going to help us get out of ourselves and our fears and feel more empowered to do what we can in the world right now. I know there's plenty of reasons for people to be feeling freaked out right now, but I really wholeheartedly believe everything happens for a reason, and there's things going on right now that we're perhaps might be extremely challenging, more so for some compared to others, but that on the other side of this whole thing, I think collectively we'll all be in a better place because of it. And all we can really do is do our own individual personal growth work so that we can show up and be our best selves and get the most out of this opportunity, because life always throws us opportunities. All right, that's enough out of me for today. Thank you for tuning in. And again, comment if you found this helpful, give it a like. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and it should give you an option to subscribe for alerts to be notified by YouTube if I go live or when there's a new video that's uploaded, so you don't miss that. And please feel free to share it with anyone you think might be needing a little soothing or support during this time. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.